let's go over a few more. Let's see. This one's kind of a nice one. It's also in my lick book, Lictionary, as I should call it. And this one sounds like this. In the key of C, as it's written in the book, it's actually riff number 3 on page 50, but I'm going to play it back in the key of E in a minute. But this one sounds like this. Okay, so what we've got there is 16-note triplets. Actually, I played it a little differently. Let me play it the way that I played it first, so you can see what it is. Right? So I'm basically walking down the pentatonic, and then I bend that up, and then I just repeat that combination. So when you get that going fast, right? And the important thing about riffs, one of the important things, is to make sure that you're playing them clean, because you're moving your fingers fast over the strings, and you're, in this case, I'm playing through a overdriven sound, so it's easy for extra strings to ring and make noise inside of the guitar, and you don't want that to happen. If you heard a minute ago, I did that myself, right? Right? Or maybe an extra string, right, that rings you don't want. You want to mute with your hand so that you don't create any extra noise. So you got to be careful at how you play so that you don't hit open strings and make dead strings sound loud, right? So I actually mute a little bit with my right hand to keep the strings from ringing, right? And I just let my pick the notes that I need. So we've got a lot of them now. We've got we've also got there's just so many in this position. That's why you see so many people in rock and roll and blues playing in the box shape right here in pattern 4. Because there's so much that you can do in pattern 4 that makes it just makes it expressive and makes it available to play a lot of fast, technical but great sounding stuff. Okay, that doesn't mean there's not other places to play. I think there's some other great places to play riffs too. Let's talk about another one. How about if we go to let's say we were going to play a pentatonic scale, right, back into E again, right here. Okay. Now the root is on this string, the 5th string, and some of those same riffs that we've played that we could play in the box position to be right here aren't available, but variations of them could be. How about this one right here? The one that I played here a while ago. You can play it right here. But because of the fingering change here, I might modify it a little bit to be here. I might play it like this. Right? So I don't go down to that note just because it's more difficult to play that. So I might just play it like this. Or I might even do this. Right, do it a little fast. And that's actually getting into a new note for us. That's the flat 5 of the scale, which is a little bit more bluesy now. But I like the way that sounds, and we'll talk about that in other lessons. So anyway, that is. So So more riffs in that position. That's a kind of a fun one to jam on. Maybe this one could involve a bend and just a fast note on top to double it with. So you could go maybe like this. So that's a little bit more finger or pick technique there. Watch what I'm doing slowly. Okay, so you got to make sure that you're comfortable playing it and feeling that rhythm. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of mileage out of this upper position because that's where the bends lend themselves pretty well in this position. Okay, that doesn't mean that we can't do anything down here. So let's talk about what we could do here. How about if you did just the scale, right, like this? Sometimes just playing 4 notes of the scale, rapid fire, can sound like a riff, right? You can maybe just go like this if you use your pull-off technique, or it makes it easier to play. Right? And all I'm doing is playing 4 notes of the scale. But because I'm using hammer on, right? It sounds more like a riff, right? Remember, it's a repetitive, fast combination of notes. Okay? I could incorporate that flat 5 that I did there. For a variation, I could go. Second finger now is handy to play the flat 5. Okay. So let's just go over what we've learned now. We've learned quite a few riffs here today. We've learned the very first one I wrote on the board. Okay, if I put that in E, just so we could have a demonstration here, it'd be up there, okay? But we've learned a bunch of other things in this pattern 4 shape. We've learned we've also learned and then we learned using the first 4 notes of pattern 2 and adding the flat 5 in there. We've also learned and okay, so those are all, you know, basically out of this form and out of this form. Okay, let's show off some of these again in the key of E now, where my sequencer is, and I'll put those together like I was doing at the beginning. Okay, here we go. Okay, here comes the first riff. guys go ahead, try it at home. I'm going to back you up now. Okay, here we go. All right, so there we go. A lesson today all about riffs, okay? So start working on your riffs. Riffs are really good for flashy spots in your solos. They're really good for technique building, and they're just great over a variety of different situations with rock, blues, any kind of improvising situation where you want to play something exciting and fast and catch someone's attention with something really interesting and fun, okay? So I'll see you next lesson. All right, bye.